Okay, in this video we will be subtracting two fractions with unlike denominators, and so let's begin. So our first problem is 4 divided by 6 minus 1 divided by 3, and we notice the denominators are different for both of them, so we can't subtract just yet, because with fractions, for addition and subtraction, the denominator have to be the same. Now, we can make this into a 6 if we multiply it by 2. And if we multiply this denominator by 2, you have to multiply this numerator by 2. Because 2 divided by 2 is just 1, and 1 times anything is the same number. So we have 4 divided by 6 minus 1 times 2 is 2, and 3 times 2 is 6. So now we have the same denominator. And now all we need to do is subtract the numerator from this piece and this piece. So we would get ourselves 4 minus 2 divided by, our common denominator is 6, so 6 is equal to 4 minus 2 we know is going to give us 2 divided by 6. So you can box in this answer, and you might have learned about simplifying, which means to make it more simpler. And in order to do that for this problem, you could divide the top and the bottom by 2, and you would still get a whole number. And so another answer that is simplified would be 2 divided by 2 is 1, divided by 6 divided by 2 is 3. So this is the answer that is simplified. And now we'll do a second problem. This problem is a little bit different because both of these pieces, the denominators are different, and you can't just multiply one piece by a number to get the other denominator. So we need to think to ourselves, what's the least common denominator? Now, if I multiply this piece by 2, I get 3 times 2 is 6. Now, I can get 6 by this if I multiply it by 3. So our least common denominator is 6. Now, if you multiply this piece by 3, you have to multiply this numerator by 3. If you multiply this denominator by 2, you have to multiply this numerator by 2. And so we would get ourselves 7 times 3 is 21 divided by 6 minus 2 times 2 is 4 divided by 6, and we would get 21 minus 4 is 17 divided by 6. And that's all we need to do for this problem. And we can't even simplify, because if I divide this by any number and I divide this by the same number, I won't get a whole number. So there's nothing we can do to simplify this. Okay, our last problem, again, same situation. The denominators are different, so we need to get a common denominator. If I multiply this by 3, I get a 12. And if I multiply this by 2, I also get a 12. So since I multiply this piece by 2, I need to multiply the numerator by 2. I multiply this denominator by 3. I need to multiply this numerator by 3. And we know 7 times 2 is 14. And 6 times 2 is 12. Minus 1 times 3 is 3, divided by 4 times 3 is 12. So we now have a common denominator, so now we can actually subtract. So 14 minus 3, 14 minus 3 divided by 12, and we know 14 minus 3 is 11, so we have 11 divided by 12, and we can't simplify this any further, and so that's pretty much it for this video.